Hey, hey, hey. I'm not turning my camera on today because I look like a booger from hell and I look worse than Alec Murdaugh. I look like, I'm trying to think of that old saying my mama and mama used to say. You look like it ain't chitlin, look like a piece of intestine with a shit slung out of it. I can't remember something like that. Uh, Let me see. What's that old saying? Something with a shit slung out of it. Oh Lord, that's what Alec Murdoch looks like. What's the saying? What's the saying about something looking like something with shit slung out of it? Okay, let's see. Okay, Southern 30 phrases Southerners use. Let's see. Bless your heart. Let's find that about the shit slung out of it. It doesn't mount to a hill of beans. Yep, it's blowing up a storm. More than a quarter. Oh yeah, my mom and dad always said this. More than Carter's got. Well, I always said more than Carter's got pills, but this says more than Carter's got little pills. And for the longest, you got hey Moonlight, Nova Lisa, absolutely. I used to think that that meant Jimmy Carter and peanuts. I have no idea. I did not know about Carter liver pills. I didn't know. I had found not long ago. I like looked it up, but I used to say that all the time about Carter's pill. Got more than Carter's pills. I didn't have no idea what it meant. Something you hear growing up, you know. Over yonder, I say, she's madder than a wet hen. Yep, till the cows come home. I'm trying to find that one about if I had my druthers. My papa, my mom's dad used to say there was a big old oak tree in the backyard, and it had like big long branches that were low and just like went forever. We used to climb it. That's probably the only tree I ever climbed because I wasn't a tomboy, but we used to climb it. And he would come out there, and he was a skinny, skinny little man. He always had a big old wad of down shit in his cheek, chewing to it, red man or something like that. Ugh. And he always had brown stuff running down, but he was a skinny, skinny little man. And he used to say, "Y'all better get out of that tree. Y'all gonna fall out of there directly. Y'all gonna free side 19. Hello, y'all gonna fall out of there directly." And I used to think, well, that's weird. Directly, what is you know? But anyways, the things that you like remember growing up, especially from the South. But there was something that they used to say about having the shit slung out of it. I can't remember what it was, but I was looking. That's what Alec Murdoch looks like. Hey, Carla, how are you, doll? You guys, is that trial not the dang craziest? First of all, I have to tell you guys, I can't wait for the state to get up there because I do this all the time. Like one day I'll think, oh, he's going to be found, he's going to, they're going to find him guilty. The next day, the defense will do good, and I'll say, oh, he's going to get off. So I go back and forth. I wait for so bad. It's probably a good thing I'm not on the dang jury or on a jury because I just don't know. And then I'll feel better when state gets up there. I hope they hand him a new one, But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's like it's so crazy how sure he is of shit that he wants to be sure of, but he's not quite, stuff that he don't need to be. Well, he's painting Sled out to be a incompetent bunch of group of people, isn't he? If y'all are watching that, yes, ma'am, guilty, guilty, guilty. That's what I can't believe, you guys. I I just cannot. I mean, I told Randy and Wendy earlier, I can't imagine the act. I can't imagine being on, even being standing there and watching it, much less doing it. Hey, infidel lady, much less actually doing it, but watching that happen to you, people that you love and that is your blood. I just don't. Well, it's like somebody said in Randy's chat earlier that he is most definitely a freaking sociopath. There's no doubt about it. Uh, I would too, infidel lady. I was on jury duty this week, Tuesday. And I had to call Monday night at 6 o'clock to find out whether or not I guess I was going to be picked. But when I called, they told me that I was released or whatever. But if I'm not mistaken, April, which is next March, April is when our grand jury starts. There's like two a year, like the big courts start from where I'm from anyway. So I assume it's the same down here. We're only about 3 hours away. But hey, poolside, how are you? I love your avatar. Your hair is beautiful. But I was thinking, oh, I'd love to get picked for like a big, you know, a big trial. But hell, after watching this one, I think I would be crappy as a dang juror because I like wafer too much. I mean, I just like, I guess I just want to believe that he couldn't actually do it. But I take out I go to write, okay, reason, what makes sense. Okay, it makes sense, and oh, you're so welcome. It makes sense, and there's nobody else. I mean, sure, he can blame it on the boat people or the drug cartel or whatever, but he's about got himself backed into a corner with a timeline. I mean, he doesn't leave a whole lot of room there to work with. And also, oh, thank you, Freeside. And also, his ass don't, not only is the timeline but to choke him down, but wouldn't he have heard? I mean, especially that damn blackout or black off or whatever that high powered guy. Surely to heavens he would have heard that. I don't know how far the distance is from the kennels to the house, but I know when I'm at my mom's and my husband's at our little cabin area shooting, I jump out of my skin, even though I know he's going to be shooting, or but I still scares the poop out of me, scares the shit out of me. So I mean, those guns are loud. So I don't know. I just think that he is a cold-hearted, cold-blooded, black-eyed looking some bitch because you look at his eyes and he doesn't look like he even has a soul inside there. Man, he is just like very rehearsed, I would say, very rehearsed. Um, he's now calling. Yeah, mags and but yeah, that makes me say, well, we do. I'm gonna tell you, everybody. I give everybody a nickname, and so I get that. It is a Southern thing. Now I've never heard of calling somebody by the name of Paul, Paul. I don't know if he's saying like Grandpa Paw or if it's like short for Paul, PA. I don't know what he's saying, but yeah, like a shark, Nova Lisa. Oh, I love Fitz News. That's how I first found out, Nova Lisa, about this case. Now they turned me on to the Murdoch murder podcast and another news thing. Yeah, that's right, Carla. He's an attorney. But yeah, I love Fitz News. Man, Fitz News is blowing. They're blowing the damn. If you guys don't watch, I'll put the link in my description whenever I get through. It's FIT, F as in Frank, I as in India, T as in Tango, S as in Sam, I think, or Z. I think it's S, and then news, like the 9 o'clock news, and it's a YouTube channel, and it's the husband. The guy that does it is the husband, obviously, and then his wife is like behind the scenes, and they have a couple other people, but they are not only blowing the freaking Murdoch out of the damn water, but they are bringing the like all this cheering shit where they're like this these cheering squads. I can't think of the name of Team Star or something like that. Um, my stepdaughter, her daughter is really big into that competition, cheer competition stuff. And I mean, they are so it's almost like pageant world. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's like the pageant world. They've got to look a certain way. Hey, ginger locks. They want them to look a certain way. They want, the being skinny and uh, you know, I used to have know a girl that like she did ballet and she loved it. She was a little girl whenever, I first met her and she was like, "Oh, I love ballet." And the older she got, I noticed that she started when she would come up to the office, her dad, I worked for her dad, but she would like be sneaking it, smoking in the back with the guys that work back there and I never would tell on her, but I come to find out a lot of ballet people that are ballerinas are chain smoke. I mean, they're like smokers. That's what I was told. Now I don't know. So if you're a ballerina, don't shoot me if I'm wrong. I'm just telling you what I was told. That the majority, like 98% of them, I was told smoke. But I guess maybe for appetite suppressors, I don't know. But anyway, he is really. They're like blowing. I think they're blowing it out of the water. Fitz News, and they're also I think putting a pressure on the people that can make changes. You know what I mean? Like hold them accountable, hold these, high ranking people accountable. If it's good for you, it should be good for them. I mean, quit letting money and shit rule the world. It's wrong. It's wrong, but it's so freaking the way it is, man. It's so the way it is in small towns, and I mean, and I'm sure in other towns, but I'm from one, and a small town, and I know first freaking hand. It's not what you know, but it's who you know, and it's. you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours bullshit. And it shouldn't be like that. It absolutely should not be like that. Yeah, that okay, so I haven't watched the Netflix. Yeah, I have I think I'm subscribed to Hulu. I don't even watch anything on Hulu. I used to be we do Sling. We just have internet and we stream Sling, and we get. I don't even watch TV, you guys. I watch my phone or my tablet or my computer. I mean, honestly, my husband watches TV, and every now and again, I'll watch something that if he's watching something, which very seldom does he watches anything that's and piques my interest. But I hardly watch TV. But we have Sling. But I need to get Netflix. I really want to see it. And he's also the one, I don't know if you guys, talk about the Murdochs running deep, man. This corruption shit runs freaking deep and long. He is the one that was watching TikTok. And when all this happened with Alec Murdoch, this girl that used to work at one of the strip bars, and she was a dancer, and I say strip bars, she was a dancer in Hilton Head and I think Savannah, one of the other big towns there in South Carolina. She was a dancer, and then she started. Um, she said that she never did anything but dance, but eventually the other girls would start like doing private dances behind, and they were doing more in private dances, so they would kind of pull the I guess most of the business to them. So she said, I'm just saying that she was basically forced to, start selling her body, selling her cooch. You know, she was basically forced into, or else quit doing what she was doing. So she ends up going with this um, escort service, and she blatantly, I mean, she was very candid. I couldn't believe she was saying some of the things that she was saying on this podcast, because I'm going to tell you something. They got the fear of God in us as first creators, like things that we say on here. So hell, some of the stuff she was saying, the guy that was interviewing her, he didn't flinch. Like, I mean, she was saying some stuff like, oh, sloppy Molly would say. No, I'm just saying. But she said initially that she voluntarily went into this oh crap, whatever I just said, escort service. And the first one that she ever went to, somebody had booked this beach house, and it was Murdoch, Alec Murdoch, and a bunch of other high-ranking officials. Um, and the lady that she was working for, they hired her to supply them with coochie coo, I guess. So Alec picked her, and she's just like a little old blonde-headed, skinny Southern girl. I mean, she's not gorgeous, but she's a pretty girl. You know what I mean? She's kind of a plain, not a lot of makeup looking girl, but she's very pretty. But she's not, what I would think va 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 boom. So anywho, she was talking that her and him struck up a conversation, and he was all in the beginning. He was all like, where are you from, and like trying to connect the, like, yeah, they've said in court, trying to connect the dots, like, do if they know somebody that knows somebody, and was really, really nice until they got in the bedroom. And then he was abusive and very rough. I guess he liked to, ask her, he liked for her to spank his ass and say, who's your freaking daddy? I don't know. But anywho, she said that after that first time that she, has anybody else seen that? That she kind of like didn't want to do it anymore, but she almost made it sound like, yes, girl, talking treasure. Yes, the infidel lady. Sorry, I just put my glasses back on. Moonchild Pink. Hey, babe. Yeah. So after the first time, she tried to get out of it. So she said that they made it very difficult and they threatened her. And so she went willingly again the second time. And then she said that, so after Alec had her, he requested her every time. And she said that, 5 or 6 times, if I'm not mistaken, that she had to go to parties. Now she said had. I don't know if she's just saying that to try to save face or if that's the truth, but I'm just telling you, kind of paraphrasing what the girl said. But anyway, she said that the lady that she worked for become abusive also, and like threatened her if she didn't like go and do it. But she said he become more abusive each time. And so anywho, when all this crap broke with the murders and stuff of the wife, she saw it, unfolding. And so she goes to TikTok and she starts making, she said, I knew, I knew I had a story to tell. So she goes on TikTok and she starts putting these little shorts on there about the Murdochs and how, there is more to it than what they see. So this guy that runs News Fits sees it. and he calls her up and he interviews her behind the scenes several times. He made sure she was legit. He vetted her, made sure that she wasn't full of shit, and then he had her on the show not once but like 2 or 3 times, I think. And each time, like she said that, so he finally got her in touch with some ranking people that would maybe do something, high ranking people, and they showed her pictures of, let's just say, like, I guess men on the stature of like Alec, other attorneys, congressmen, shit like that, that was at these get-togethers, and she pointed several out. So they say that whenever this, blows it, whenever this part of it blows up, that there's going to be lots of unsuspecting people probably that are going to come down. Now, whether or not it ever comes to light, I don't know. So I'm just, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what I heard. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm so disturbed. I keep reminding myself that Buster is just a child. He's just a child, and Alec is the only parent he's got, the only immediate living relative that he's got, besides, his aunt and uncles. And but I have to tell you guys, there's something about him that rubs me the wrong way. He's so and I get everybody reacts differently to things, but he's so just like blah. He doesn't have any emotion. He doesn't show any like emotion or anything. So I just don't get it. I don't know. I just think if my mother was murdered and my brother, um, I get wanting to give his dad the pass. I get that, but I don't get not knowing that your mom and your brother has been killed. Yeah, I don't get that. So I'm thinking in my suspicious ways that maybe he knows that his dad's got a $12 million life insurance policy, or I guess I don't know what happens if he goes to jail. And I'm sure he will probably, if he gets a long sentence or whatever, he'll probably die in jail, because I don't see his little candy ass hanging very long in there. Because if all this that's happened in the dark comes to light from what they say, I don't think they're going to be giving him any KY whenever they make him somebody's bitch. You know what I mean? Buster is the one who supposedly has a relationship with Steve. Oh, that's what I thought, Nova Lisa. That's what I thought. I was telling Randy about that, and she said, "No, I don't think he was gay." But now the news article that I saw, that young man Stephen had also started working for an escort service, and as a matter of fact, a gentleman that was his supposed boyfriend or booty boy, whoever he got happy with, actually was giving this interview, and he was the one telling this reporter that Stephen had went to work with. Well, so no, Lisa, I've heard that he was killed. He was hit by a vehicle and killed, not not very far from, right up in there amongst Moselle, if I'm not mistaken, not too far from all these people. But him and Buster were friends, and they kind of had a little thing. I don't know how it all had. There's so many different stories. I haven't, like, I've been so entranced with this, I hadn't really like went down that rabbit hole. But when this is over with, I'm most definitely going to go down that rabbit hole, because I'm very, very interested in that. And I also want to know more about the housekeeper. Like Randy was telling me earlier that that they think that maybe Maggie may have like pushed her, because they said that Paul and Maggie was the one there with her when she fell, and she fell on the outside, not on the inside. I thought it was inside, but apparently it was the brick steps leading up to the house, and that's where she supposedly tripped over the dog and fell. But they said that Paul would never, he loved her, and he would never have done anything. But you guys, I watched her son. She had two sons, and one of them is special needs. The youngest one is a special needs, and so the one that was doing the interview that Alec got all this damn money for, and they never saw one red penny, like millions of dollars, you guys. He got and told this young man, "Don't worry about anything. I'm gonna make sure you and your brother never have to want for anything in your life. Your mother was like family to us. Y'all are like family. Don't worry, I'm gonna take care of you." Oh, he took care of them all right. He got tons of money. These poor young men, they got evicted from a mobile home, a trailer, a piece of crap trailer. They got evicted from because they couldn't afford. And he let that happen. He didn't even try to like float them or help them out. You know what I mean? And I'm not being ugly when I say this, but the young man that was giving the interview, he could be on the special needs. I'm just saying, he seemed like he was borderline special needs. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he was or anything, but he was a little, you know what I mean? So, but now I never saw a picture of his younger brother because he said that the guy giving the interview, but that's jacked up. That's jacked up that he could do that, man, to people. And I don't get how he was doing it and getting away with it. I don't understand that because according to this paralegal, like whenever they settle a case, she's the one that handles the checks that they get, that puts them in the appropriate places, finalizes the paperwork. So when he's finalizing these deals for these two young men, why did they not ever say, "Hey, what about the paper?" And then also there's that the young lady. Now Fitz News interviewed this girl. Her mother and her brother and younger sister was going to meet her mom and dad was getting a divorce, and they were traveling to go spend the weekend with the dad. And the mother did not like driving on the interstate, but she had to this particular afternoon. Anywho, the tire blows out on their vehicle, and the mother has a wreck. The brother and the mother are killed, and tragically. So the 12-year-old and the 8-year-old was in the back. She had to send her up to the road because she got trapped in the vehicle to like flag 18-wheelers down. And this is at nighttime. By the time she was scared nobody would see that they had went off the road. Anywho, the dad, they ended up moving in with their dad, and he was a drunk and didn't give a shit. Anyway, Alec took on the case and got them. Okay, so each daughter got different amount because they were he sued Firestone or Bridgestone or whoever the damn tire. So he is a personal, he's like one of these 1-800 call Bart. He's that kind of attorney. So he got them lots. He went after the tire manufacturer and something. Anyway, got lots and lots of money. Million, like each daughter got different amounts depending on their age, but it was in millions. So he tells the girls, I'm going to take care of y'all. Don't worry, y'all going to be set for life. And the young girl said, I didn't know what set for life meant, but I knew, because she didn't know. I mean, she was just didn't even know if they were going to eat from week to week. So it comes down to where he did tell them that he got them some money, but he told them that because of their age, that it had to be put in a trust and that they had to have a conservator basically to handle the money until they become of age. So he gets one of his good old buddy friends to become the conservator. And so every time this young lady said, every time she would ask for school clothes or anything, he would tell her, "I've got to ask the judge. I've got to ask the judge." Well, come to find out, when it was all over and done with, when she turned 18 and was able to find out, the conservator was actually allowed to give them up to 25,000 a year without having to ask the judge if for their daily needs or whatever. But she said she couldn't even ask for groceries without him telling her. And she said lots of times he would turn her down. So she began to look at him as like a father figure. Well, Alec is borrowing money from these. So he hands the money over to this conservator. They put it in an account. But this conservator is paying paying himself handsomely, guys, handsomely. And Alec is borrowing money. I mean, hundreds, thousands of dollars worth of loans out of that girl's money. So she said that, she would talk to Alec. Had no idea. She was clueless. So it went on for 3 or 4 years before she turned 18. And she said whenever she went to the bank and met the guy up there, she thought they had developed a friendship or whatever, that he would stay in touch. She said they did that paperwork. It was wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And she still didn't realize what was going on until she had to have somebody look at it. Did she realize that she had been screwed out of, well, her sister really got screwed. So her sister was younger and she was allotted quite a bit, lot more money. You know what I mean? So the sister really got taken advantage of, the younger sister. But I don't know. I hear that they say that Alec, that the law firm is like repaid these other people. But what about these people? What about those two young men? And what about this girl that, these two young ladies? I wonder if they ever got there. When I watched the interview, they had not been recouped, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, how do you can't get blood out of a damn turnip? You know what I mean? You can sue and try and squeeze them, but hell, if there ain't nothing there, you can't get it. So, but it's just, I mean, he just run amok, man, run amok. It makes me question his father and his father's father, because I didn't know what a solicitor was. I'd never heard that as far as a political term or, hey, gigolo. Uh, I'd never heard that term as far as any kind of public office or anything like that. Well, I guess solicitor is a fancy way of saying they're a prosecutor. So prosecutors is what he's from. His legacy is the prosecutors. So it makes me question his dad and his grandpa. I'm not saying that they were shady in the damn house, but I'm just saying usually the apple don't fall far from the tree, if you know what I mean. I mean, he learned it from somewhere, you know what I mean? Alec did. And I just don't look, you guys, there's no way in hell. Fitz News, he said that if he was spending $50,000 a week in damn pain pills, Oxycontin, at $15 on the street, they're going for $10 and $15 a pill. He said at $15 a pill, given it that he's paying top dollar, it would be like 80 something pills a day. There is no way in hell that SOB was taking that many damn Oxycontin. His ass, his damn liver and damn kidney would have done crawled out of his body and whooped his ass. I mean, there was no way in hey he was able to take that many pain pills. Hell, he would have been constipated. That some bitch wouldn't have been able to shit for a month of Sundays. You hear me? There's no way he was taking that many damn pain pills. So I'm not saying that he wasn't buying that many, but he wasn't taking that dang many and not walking. Now he may have been doing some wheeling and dealing, and I don't know. I'm just saying what his story is. Yeah, so Novalisa, whenever Paul had the wreck on the boat, he didn't call his daddy. He called his grandpa first. His grandfather was the first person he called. Every time they said anytime he got a ticket or anything, he always called his grandpa before he called his dad. So that tells you something right there. And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say this again. I know Buster's just a child probably, but he that's something up with him. Gigolo is my niece. I told her to hey little mommy, you see my avatar name? Long live the bush, baby. Long live the bush. Long live the bush. Oh yeah. So I didn't. Have you guys watched the Netflix? I didn't get to see that. I haven't watched it yet, but they said that there's a video from the hospital uh, that got somehow released to HBO or whoever produced this show, and that Alec and his dad and Paul are seen like on the video going from like room to room trying to intimidate people about not talking, like saying that I'm representing you and all that. But I want to see it because I hear that his ex-girlfriend talked about how when Paul would drink, he would like knock her around and stuff. Oh, they did. Okay. Well, and then Alec up there saying on the stand, Tupelo, honey, hello, Tupelo, are you? There's a Tupelo, Mississippi. Hey, talking about a juror at another channel saying a juror has got a blanket. Tupelo, oh, that's what I'm afraid of, Tupelo, honey. I am worried to death about. All he needs is one in his back pocket, and it's over. As far as this case goes, I guess. Okay, I don't know. Okay, what's the difference between a hung jury and mistrial? Mistrial, I can't. Commander Ender Turkey, hello, doll. Oh, you are? Okay, right on. We used to go through Tupelo. We would go to our vacation every year was going to. We went on vacation every year. My mom and dad took us, but we went to my aunt and uncle's place in Arkansas, and I'm not complaining because they were up close to Greer's Ferry, which beautiful Quitman, Arkansas is where they lived, and their driveway was like 4.7 miles long. Their driveway, so beautiful, beautiful. So we would go there every summer, and we would go through Tupelo when we went. And I've been to Tupelo a couple times for I can't remember why I'm passing through. But yeah, so I mean all he needs is one and right and all they can say is I don't know what the difference between a hung jury or mistrial. A mistrial is what okay, I do. I think mistrial is whenever they're trying to say that something was done wrong and while they were trying them or whatever, and a hung jury is whenever they can't oh hey Miss Ann when they all don't agree, right? And listen, you guys, it ain't hard. I mean, I don't know, unless they're like slapping hands and saying, "Okay, we're not doing no more of this shady shit." You're gonna But I mean, you can't control what an individual's going to do. But I know for a fact they do it because they they did it tried to do my little brother when he was on jury duty, calling up, telling him which way the lawyer that was handling it, calling him up, telling him which way, we're going to pick you for part of the jury, and we need you to go this way. Oh, hell to the yeah. Oh, infidel. How have you been saying it? Well, you can't tell me on here, but I guess you would say Tupelo or Tupelo. um, so I don't know. It's scary to think about, but I do think that they've got enough on him. I think, financial with the financial, but hell, it's going to be federal, and that's like they're going to give him KY. If he gets federal, they give him federal. He's going to just be given a tube of KY. They're not going to give it to him without it, like he should be getting it. I don't think he'd last. He may last forever or a long time in federal, but I don't think in regular prison he would last very long. Oh, Tupelo. Oh, that's cute, infidel lady. You probably pronounce a lot of words that we like I pronounce differently. Of course, I have my own. Being Southern, we have our own slang for things. I say things that other people probably don't pronunciate the same. But back we were talking about Paw and um Mags and all that. I give everybody nicknames. It is a Southern thing, but I feel like he's really like overusing it while he's testifying. You know what I mean? Because yeah, and I think that, as long as the law firm like repays it or whatever, you know what I mean? And they say they've almost got it. The testimony yesterday, I think it was say or day before, that they've got most of it almost paid back. But I don't know. It's just if they don't, if they let him get away with it, if he did it or whatever, and the good old buddy system works, maybe there's been enough light brought to it that if anything happens after this, that it'll go differently. I guess that's all we can hope. Um, but it's a shame that it's like that. It infuriates me. Actually, it makes me so dang mad. It just pisses me off when I think about the cops and government and stuff doing something like, being shady like that and not holding everybody equally the same. You know what I mean? No matter what your color, your skin, your gender, if it's this way for somebody that breaks the law and somebody else, a female or a different national, they should all be held. It should all be the same. Infidel lady, I lived up north for about 15 years, and there was not a day that went by that I didn't get asked if I'm from Texas or Mississippi or Arkansas. Every day I got asked that. So I used to tease and say, "What? I don't sound like I'm from here." And I lived, the area I lived up north. To me, they didn't like sound real northern. I didn't even notice that they really had an accent. To me, I couldn't hear it with my ear, but boy howdy, everybody could tell it with mine, with my accent. But I never picked it up. I guess you have to be younger whenever you move to an area. I guess I don't know, to adapt to adapt the accent. I want to learn Spanish so bad, but I'm just going to tell you guys, I've never heard a redneck speaking Spanish. Have you guys? I like have a few Spanish words that I can say, chichis and huevos and kind of get sada. That's the kind of burrito I like. but it, but I've never like heard a redneck talk Spanish. If I could pull it off, I would try to do it. Yes, absolutely. Equal justice for all. Okay, at the boat crash scene, you can hear the police say, "Good luck." Oh yeah, oh yeah. And then all the evidence they've got, like, okay, so I heard yesterday. So Paul knew that Buster let him have his ID. His dad knew that because they were saying that's how one of the reasons why they were, trying to hold him responsible. That's crazy. I mean, I guess they do know. know all each other's business and stuff, for him to have known that. I'm gonna tell you, down the road from where my mom lives, there was a retired. Well, she was used to be a teacher, school teacher, and her husband, if I'm not mistaken, he retired also from the school. He was in the janitor section, if I'm not mistaken. But they both were retired, and they had a teenage son, and they left and went out of town, went hunting or something, and the kids stayed behind, and the son had a party at at their house, and there was lots of alcohol involved. Well, I don't know all the details, but I do know that somebody got killed leaving the party. My niece might know if she's still in here. She probably knows the details because I had moved away when this happened, but she still lives around there. But yeah, they sued the parents, and they weren't even at home. They didn't even know he was having a party, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't know that they were having the party, and they didn't buy the alcohol. It didn't matter because it was on their land, and they sued the parents of the the one that died. His parents sued them, and they weren't even there. So, I guess it's different in different states and wherever you're at in the part of the world, but um, it's not worth it. My mom called me back. So my brother lives behind my mom. Okay, infidel. Like, oh, Paul's ex-girlfriend says that Alec gave him like, okay, 14. Oh, I could see them doing that. I could see them thinking it was, well, I'd rather them drink. If they're going to drink, I'd rather them drink here. And I kind of get that to a point when you're closer to 18 or of age, but not when you're 14 years old. And obviously they're not just keeping it at home. You know what I mean? I'd rather them drink here if they're going to drink. Well, obviously they're not just keeping it at home. They're on the damn river or lake or wherever doing it. So that didn't work out too good. Yeah, that's not cool. My mom and dad never would have allowed us to, but you know, I understand that. I don't I mean, they never my parents never would have allowed us to do it, but um I understand the philosophy behind that. But when they're old enough to not old enough to do it, but you know what I mean, closer to the legal age. Yeah, 14 is like way not cool. And honestly, it must be like a problem because I don't know too many 14-year-old that likes it enough to want to like drink to get drunk. I mean, hell, I'm 55 years old and I don't even I mean, I'll drink a little bit. I guess a social drinker, but I'm not. It's got to taste real good and be fruity and sweet for me to like it. I don't like the taste of liquor, strong liquor. I can't stand beer. Now I like kissing my husband when he's drinking beer, but I cannot stand to drink it. It makes my belly get bloated. And honey, I don't need no help in that department. It gives me gas, and I just get like ugh. I mean, you're asking for it. If you ask me, you're asking for it. If you give your children liquor at the age of 14 years old and let them drink till they get drunk, you're asking for it. You are, you asking for it. And I understand wanting to be friends, but most children have enough friends. They need parents. You know what I mean? You can be their friends whenever they get of age and they're grown and they have, you know what I mean? Then you can be their friend. But when they're in school and they're under your roof and you're still teaching them the right way to live and giving them morals and instilling integrity in them, you need to be their parents. You know, that's my opinion anyway. Hell, what do I know? Shit. I didn't. I've raised several bonus children, never had any of my own. But if I did, that's how I would. I think that's how I would be. Have they? It to me, it seemed like Paul may have been on alcohol. Yeah, yeah, me too. Because listen, he was talking about like. I mean, I don't think if he was just taking pain pills, I don't think they would make him. I don't know, make him to where he can't remember shit. I mean, if he was taking Xanax, it'd be one thing, but damn, uh, pain pills. I don't ever remember making me not remember things. But I guess everybody's chemical makeup is different. I don't know. I think he's using it for an excuse myself to get his Weasley sociopath ass out of this trouble. I think I'm gonna put a poll up. I told Randy earlier we should do a poll about how long do we think that I know it's nobody knows, but just curious how long it's gonna take for them to when they go to decide whether he's guilty or not. Yeah, his name is drunk alter ego. Yeah. Well, so if they deliberate and they come back quickly, which I don't see how they could, even if they find them guilty or not guilty, for the simple fact that they weren't able to take notes. And this has been a long ass trial. This is a lot of crap to remember. And so many times they've had to leave and go back to the jury room because things were brought up that the other one objected to. So, do you strike that from your memory, or I mean, how do you remember what to strike and what not to? You know what I mean? I just can't imagine it being even if they find them guilty, it being a quick decision because it's so much crap to take in. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was thinking 10 to 12 hours. I don't know. Hell, it could take days, but I think the longer it takes probably means they're struggling with a decision. And look, I guess we'll see what the state does whenever they cross examine, but, I mean, uh, I think that the defense may have raised enough, you know, plausible reasons that he didn't do it. I mean, I don't think that the state nailed it shut. And the part that I thought that they had him was the fact that he was on that video. But hell, here he is. He admits that he lied, which we all knew he was a liar. But I don't know that the jury's gonna buy it. Oh, I hope not, infidel lady. I hope not. But I have a really, really strong feeling that that may be what's going on. That they've got one, because you think, Alec Murdaugh himself probably wouldn't be able to cash in, or they wouldn't be able to cash in on this favor, but they probably look at, I mean, his brother Randy's an attorney, and I think Buster's going back to law school, which I think is bullshit because he got kicked out for, plagiarism, but his dad pulled some strings, and it's been proven on all these jailhouse recordings that he's made from the jail to his son, that he was pulling some strings to get his son back in school. So that right there ought to be uh, an automatic dismissal if he is back in college. If they got him back in because he was being, that's what we're talking about, is shit like that. Letting him back in whenever he's already been kicked out. That's right. It only takes one person, Miss Ann. You're right there. I don't know, Noblesse, how much he's facing. I don't know. And let me see, did they say it was going to be the death? No, it's not the death sentence. Life in prison. So I think it was life in prison. I heard they said they were going to ask for if it goes that way. Don't you know, infidel lady? Maggie probably felt like, and he probably made her feel like that she was the queen bee, giving him two studly sons to carry on the damn name. Boy, huh? They fell hard, didn't they? All from the boat wreck. Brought it, which I think he's already making bad land deals. He already had a lot of land deals that were gone the other way. But I think the boating accident brought it all to light. And I still don't know where that stands. Like that lawyer that his name starts with a T, the one that stood his own, that was representing the Beach Girls family in the very beginning. He went on the stand. I really liked him, but I wonder when that happened, like when Alec got arrested, does that mean that it's over, or are they still pursuing? I mean, I don't know what they're going to get if he ain't got shit, but 730. Wow. Wow. Yeah, the Michael, the DeWitt guy. Yeah. Okay, so wow, that's freaking a lot of that's a lot of dog years, isn't it, guys? Oh, wow, that's crazy to think. Yeah, he'll just look. I've never thought about harming myself or taking myself out, but I'm gonna tell you something. If I had been him, I understand why he was wanting old cousin Eddie to take him out. I really do, because really and truthfully, he ain't got much of a, he knows his reality. He knows what's coming out, and the stuff that hadn't come out. He really was very, his future was very grim and bleak. He right, infidel lady. Yeah, right. I watched this channel. It's a YouTube channel, but it's the Louisiana. Uh, I'm sure they have one for every state, but it's the people that are getting out of prison. They go before the board. Well, okay, early release or whatever. If they're hey, Sean Shenanigans, welcome, babe. I have a trial coming and just lost with this shit. I hope you get honest. But I do too, girl or sir. Which I don't know. I assume you're a lady. I don't know, but I do too, doll. I hope that they get honest people, and I hope that for you that they get honest people on your trial, and I hope it goes well, and it's a short trial with wonderful results for you, because that has to be a very stressful thing to. I couldn't imagine, going through day in and day out. Oh, Noble Lisa, thank you, doll. Thank you. That boy, talk about being your stomach, and then having to go back to if you're on trial, and then having to go back to, he's getting to put a suit on every day and eat his little mints up there, and then whenever it's all over with, he gets go back in the handcuffs and go back to his cell. That's got to suck big green donkey ones for him. But I could imagine, being in that situation and not being able to vent and talk to people. Like, okay, after it's over with, you like want to go home and, how do you think we did today? I mean, I don't know that he has that possibility. I don't know. I know that I was surprised to see that the day that Buster was after he got through testifying, his dad, they had a screenshot of where his dad was giving him a pat on the butt, telling him good job. So I guess he does get to have some kind of you know attach, get to see some. You know what did it for me? One of the reasons I think I have a dealio with Buster is him sitting there like flipping that guy off, that acting like he was scratching whatever he was doing, to the point where the judge put him in the back. That was like, okay, that was tacky and shady. He shouldn't have been doing that. He should have been more mature than to do that. So that right there made me think, okay, you little shit, you're spoiled rotten. Sean Shenanigans, how are you? That's what is that? Your after your name looks like a hurricane, maybe. And is that a shark emoji, a hammerhead shark, or something like that? And then I don't know if you guys, Buster, yeah, right. I don't know if you guys have been seeing it. I watched this Down the Rabbit Hole Media News. I love her. She's so sweet. But she's been covering this girl that's saying that she is the Madeline McCain or McCann. And I was like, okay, okay. So at first I was like, whatever. Oh, okay, hurricane and tornado. Okay, gotcha. I was close. I was close with a. I should have known the tornadoes, but because I'm from Tornado Alley where I live, where I was born and raised, and I'm for sure by the hurricanes down here on the coast of the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. We know all about those hurricanes, but um, I was like, okay. So apparently that little rust spot sees afar. Hello, doll. Welcome. Hello. His eyes. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Sees afar. His damn eyes are so beady and soulless looking. Like he doesn't even have a soul behind those suckers. Yes, you think so, infidel lady? But they were saying that rust spot, that's or whatever, that spot in her eye, how rare it was. I didn't know. I know like two people that have that in their eyes. I didn't know it was that rare, um but yeah, and then the age doesn't count. Like the little McCain girl was like 19. I think those people, those parents have suffered the whole time, knowing that they went out I mean, they are living in their own hell, their own prison, just knowing, you know what I mean. Their conscience is probably, I could only imagine. So so Sean's shenanigans gets rough on your end. Are you in the states? don't want you not to tell me where you're from because I was born and raised about 3 hours inland from where I'm at now. And whenever I reconnected with my husband and I moved down here, as soon as we graduated, he come down here and started working for the shipyard. And so when we reconnected, I'm down here, but he has been through two like major, like Hurricane Katrina, lost everything, had to redo, and then another one that wasn't quite as devastating as Katrina. I can't remember the name. So since I've been down here, we've had some pretty rough, uh, but nothing like Katrina. And I asked him one night, we were watching it, and I said, I was arrested twice while live streaming on my platform. No shit, are you serious, Sean's? That's jacked up. Arrested twice? You mean people having you swatted like idiots on this other creators calling the police on you, or something else? Because that's so shitty, man. People need to freaking get a life, man. Doing shit like that. That's just crazy. I mean, it's so dangerous too. You could get somebody killed very easily. Oh Lord, Lord. Well, I've had a neighbor like that too. I've had a neighbor, a crazy neighbor, stalking neighbor. I watch on YouTube sometimes. There's this a channel that is just about my crazy neighbor, and man, I'm telling you what, they some damn neighbors there's some crazy ass people out there. I wouldn't dare have the nerve to pull some of the crap that they pull. I was even tasting. Oh my God, are you serious, Sean? That's jacked up. Wow, that's jacked up, man. That's so wrong. I'm sorry that happened to you. Uh, I know a lot of people that were getting, swatted a lot or whatever. They started calling their local, local law enforcement and like telling them, "Hey, I'm a YouTuber." I mean, I don't know that. I guess it depends on the law, the office, depends on that particular sheriff's office or whatever. But they were saying, "Hey, I'm a YouTuber," and they're swatting people or whatever. Um, so I have never. Absolutely, they were. Absolutely. Were you able to, go, "Oh, is that what your legal case is about?" I'm being nosy now. You can tell me it's none of my business, and that'd be fine because it's not. But, if it is, I am praying for you and for sure hoping that DCF came in the middle of the night. They mistreated their dogs too. Yeah, people did go crazy. That's jacked up. Well, I'm gonna tell you, there was a fellow person on here that I had become friends with, and a lot of other people have become friends with. And I had her actual address because I had asked for it. It was before Christmas, and I wanted to send her and her daughter a little happy for Christmas and a card. And I told her, you don't have to worry about me, which she don't, and I would never. But I was really sick, and I had went to the doctor, and anyway, she was blowing my phone up. Anywho, she was talking to other people on in these streets and telling them that she was gonna off herself. Now she never said those words to me because she knew that I had her address. But anyway, I ended up getting called and messaged, and I went into this Discord, and they were all talking about it, and they were really, really worried, which I understand because they were like reading me the messages that she had sent to them, and she blatantly come out and said that she was going to, do that. So I had her address, so I took it upon myself, and I didn't let them hear, the address or anything, but I called her local police department and I explained everything that I told her. I was from YouTube, and I told them this is what had happened. And I don't know that she would do it. She didn't tell me, but I saw the messages where she said it to other people. And you don't want something like that to happen and you not act on it. You know what I mean? And I really, really did not want to do it, but I kind of was like putting in. And before I did, I text this person, and I called, text her. I said, "Hey, or did you tell so and so that you were going to do this? Because you know I'm seeing messages where you did, and you were, please call me back. Please answer my phone calls. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and then, you're leaving me no choice. I can't not act on this. Please call me, text me." So I gave her 7 minutes, and she still didn't call and text. And so I called and texted her again, trying to get her. And I text her again and I said, okay, I'm gonna call because you leave me no choice. I can't take the chance of something happening to you and you know, and me not acting on it. So I left all this on there, text it, voicemail, and so the dispatcher took, I told her everything. She took the information and she asked me before we hung up, she said, do you want to be, notified of what the outcome is? And I said, yeah, I just want to make sure that she's okay. Yeah, you don't have to go in detail. I just like to know that it was resolved and that she's okay. And she said, okay, I'll give me your number. I'll give it to the officer. So about, I don't know, 10 minutes later, maybe I got a call from, oh, I bet you are, girl. I bet you or sir. I'm sorry. I bet you are sold within 9 days. Wow. Well, I know you can't wait to get, are you moving like out of the state or just out of that town? Sounds like you need to go a couple towns over, if you know what I mean. There's some jacked up, you know, LE too. I'm just saying. But anyway, she finally texts back several hours later that night and never even brought up my messages and stuff. Okay, out of this town. I don't blame you one bit, Sean. Freaking hey, don't look back. Pack your shit and don't look back. You know what I mean? Uh, I mean you'll have to do like go back for court, but are they do they have body cam that you can like at court that you're gonna be able to use? Do they have their cameras on, or is there footage of them abusing you? I hope so. I hope that I'm looking at your avatar and I no oh gosh, maybe you oh let's see. I'm looking is that I'm trying to see your hair. Looks like you might be my kind of looks like it's gray or blonde in the front and black in the back. I can't see him on my laptop, but oh really? Don't even sounds like you're from a small town like me. We don't even have a well, their cars is probably more advanced in the town, but growing up we didn't even have a red light. And it most definitely is who you know, not what. Wow. Well, please let us. I mean, I'd love to know the outcome. Do you have court coming up? Like, is it soon in the next? Oh, okay, right on. Well, I love that. I have always had like funky donkey, crazy hair, wild colors and stuff. My mom used to tell me, You're gonna go bald, making it all these different colors and stuff." I said, "Mama, it's just hair. It'll grow back, and if it don't, then there's always wigs." But uh, I have this little disorder, and it actually March the 27th. Okay, so it's coming up soon. February, yeah, it's coming up soon. Um, but I have this disorder. My whole family, well, not my whole family, but it runs in my family, and it's to where we pull our hair out. It's a tricha something. I can't. It's a long ass word. It starts with a T, but it's kind of a ritual, like a method to the madness. We don't just pull any hair, you know what I mean? We have to search for. So my niece that was in here a while ago, her daughter, she had no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no arm. She would pull her arm hair out. I never like did that. I was like just stick to my head like that. That was enough. And I do have to say, I don't have a bit of problem if the the carpet is matching the freaking curtains these days. So if I see a few gray ones, I have no problem plucking that, plucking one of those out. But it don't bother me. Let me just say that. But I'm not gonna sit there. If I plucked all that out, hell, I'd never freaking. Yes, it is a nervous thing. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have no time in my day. I'd be plucking them gray hair all day. But I don't think there's any treatment for it. Well, they say that there's like some doctors may prescribe like a anti antidepressant or something like that. But and it's weird. Like I'm going through a phase right now. The last couple of days, like I go through phases. I might not have the desire to pull a hair or anything for weeks or months, and then it like hits me, and I'm telling you, when I get that urge, it is like it overcomes me, and it's like I can't, especially if I'm driving. Like I won't even be aware, and I'll be like, have my look. I'll do it so much. I'll have my hair in my head so long that my damn arm gets tired from searching for the right hair. It's about it's weird. It's about the way it feels. It's a feel, the way the hair feels, the coarseness for me anyway. I don't know how. And then if it has a root on it, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. I never knew that it was like hereditary or anything like that. But as far as I know, it started with me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, but my nieces under me have had it. And one of my nieces, she like has had to shave her head. She's pulled so much. Now I will get paranoid, and I'll get a spot that's getting thin, and I'll make myself like stop. And if my husband sees me, he fusses at me all the time, so I can't do it around him. I'm a closet puller. Hey, Red Rum Media, how are you? Yes, it's weird how I'm paranoid. I bet you are, doll. I bet you are. I don't blame you one bit. I mean, hell, you don't know if I mean listen, I had an incident myself, and happened not nothing like what you've had, but I had to go to the police department to file papers on this idiot. And when I got there, the idiot that attacked me, this is at night, and it was like midnight, and her family comes up to the police department and tries to overtake the damn police department. And I'm sitting there like in freaking shock. I'm sitting there thinking, I mean, the dispatchers were scared to even, they wouldn't open the doors. And the one that did open the door, they tried to jerk the door out and come in. They were going to whoop all our asses. But the, and no police was there. They were out, I guess, on the streets or, messing around. They wasn't nobody. So the dispatcher one of them had to break and run to her office and call for the cops to come back around there, because they were going to and I was sitting there thinking, holy shit. I come here for damn protection, and I think the damn police department's fixing to be overtook, and we're all fixing to freaking. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen. It was terrifying for about 10, 15 minutes up there. Smoking cigarette while driving a car. So yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I don't smoke, but my mom, my husband, and I've got a lot of family members that do. So I'm sure it is. But yeah, it is like, and I won't even realize I'm doing it. When I'm driving now, uh, or even here at the house. Sometimes I have to. I have a big vacuum cleaner, but I have a little hand vac. I have to get it and get my evidence up. Oh, you're so welcome, doll. It's yeah, no, but my girlfriend picks her skin, and she makes sores on her arm. Now her doctor gives her medication, oral medication and a cream, but it really really helped her. I don't know what it was. I don't know what kind of I don't know what it was, but it really helped her. But she was going through a lot whenever she would have episodes of it too. Red Run Media, and like I remember starting to pull my hair when I was like 16, 17 years old. And I don't know when my nieces started. It wasn't, I don't know when it started from them, but it's most definitely and it's not even, okay. So I have one niece, immediate niece, my sister's daughter does it. And then her other daughter does it, but her daughter, yeah, that's it. Tricha, whatever it is, meaning that's it. Her daughter is the one that pulls her eyebrows, her eyelashes, her arm hair, um, yeah, out. She pulls it out. Now I will say, whenever I have my fake eyelashes on, whenever I pull them off, if I have some glue left, I will sit there and pull. You know what I mean? And let me just say this: I have to next time I go live. I ain't hardly got no eyebrows because I love, especially if one turns gray, honey. I'm gonna pluck that sucker out. But you know what? I say this: shit, they make eyebrow pencil, baby. So my sister, I bought some brow stuff about a year ago, and it's supposed to you put it on there, it's supposed to make your eyebrows grow. And I was telling my sister about it. And she said, "Well, bitch, you need." She said, "You need it." And so I was did one of those facial things, those masks that you put on. I did her and my mom. We all did one night, and I told her, I said, "Girl, let me go get my damn tweezers." I said, "You got a gray hair?" She said, "Bitch," she said, "Get out of here." She said, she's older than me, a little older than me. She said, "Bitch, get out of here." She said, "You ain't plucking my damn eyebrows." She said, "When you get older, they don't grow back." And I said, "Oh, I know." She said, "Oh, I know you do." Oh, I think I've got it on my channel, Red Rum Media. There's a TikTok. I'm not a TikTok. It was whenever Dub Mash was popular, and I did one, and it was about pulling my eyebrows out. It was freaking hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. My niece and I did it, and I think I put it on. I think I put it on here, uploaded. If I didn't, I'll try to remember to do it. But all right, guys, I've been on here 15 minutes longer than I was going to. I've got to. I was busy working, plus the trial will be starting back. So let me get back to it, and I thank you guys for coming in and shooting the shit with me and listening to me jab. And we will see you guys in the street. And Sean Shenanigans, prayers, and good mojo coming to you, doll. And I'll see you guys in the streets. Bye bye. All right, good deal.